Hi everyone, I'm Vidyut. I'm the Senior Solutions Architect at Red Hat. With me, Adam, who is the Technical Sales Intern. We both have prepared a Podman demo for you, which we are going to showcase to you after a few minutes. So before we dive into the demo, um, before we dive into the demo, let's go through what Podman is and let's discuss few important features related to that. Pod Manager is an open source tool for developing, managing, running containers on your Linux system. Originally developed by Red Hat engineers along with the open source community, Podman manages the entire container ecosystem using libpod library. One of the notable features of Podman is the ability to run container as a regular user without requiring the root privilege. This enhances the security and simplifies the container management as it eliminates the need for a separate daemon process running as a root. This is like a security from the security perspective. This is a great feature, we can say, right? So moving on to the next slide, Red Hat Enterprise Linux provide a set of container tools that you can use to run container in a single server. Podman is a container runtime and command line tool that manages containers and container images. Scopio inspects, copies, deletes, and signs images. Buildaha creates container images. These tools are compatible with the Open Container Initiative (OCI). With these tools, you can manage any Linux containers that are OCI compatible container engine create, such as Podman or Docker. These tools are designed to run containers under Red Hat Enterprise Linux on a single node container host. Moving on to the next slide. The demo that we are going to see today is about Rootless Podman demo. And the topic or the items that we are going to see today, Adam is going to focus to you how to use Buildaha, Podman, and Scopio and manage, create, run the Podman container. So the topics that he is going to cover are how to download Podman Buildaha Scopio and check the version, how to create image from the container file, how to push image to the registry, create containers by pulling image from the registry, check the status of the container, create a systemd service to start the container after system reboot, and then at the end, cleanup activity. So with that, I will pass it on to Adam. Adam, please take it over.
So this is a simple demo of running a rootless container with Podman, Builda, and Scopio on RHEL. So to start this off, we can use the user add command to create a user, and I'll call it AdamZ. So now we can set the password for the user with the password command. And now we can add that user to a group, and I'll add AdamZ to group wheel with the user mod command. So now we can validate that AdamZ exists with the ID command. And now that we can see that AdamZ exists, we can SSH into AdamZ. So now that we're in AdamZ, we can use the sudo yum install command and install Builda, Podman, and Scopio. So now that those are downloaded, we can check the version of each. So we can use Builda -- version, and then Podman version, and finally Scopio version. So we can see the versions of each of them. So now we can start to create an image from a container file, and we're just going to create a really simple web service. So this will create a new container from HTTPD. And then we can create an HTML directory with the builda run command. And then we can create an HTML file with echo and then builda run. And then finally, we can commit the changes to an image named my web app. So we can use builda commit and then my web app. So now that we created the image, we can use build a login quay.io to log into the quay.io image registry. And then we can use build a push to push that image to the quay.io registry. So now that the image is in the registry, we can actually use Scopio to inspect the image in the repository before even pulling it. So we can use Scopio inspect, and then we can inspect the image from there. So now we pull the image from the repository and then run it. So we can use Podman pull and then the image. So now that we pulled the image, we can run it with the Podman run command. And we'll run it on port 8080. So to make sure that the image is running, we can use Podman PS. And we can see that it was created 8 seconds ago, and it's running on port 8080. And we can also use curl to check if the web service is accessible. And we can see it's running successfully. So now we can create a systemd service to get it started after a system reboot automatically. So to start this off, we can create a systemd service file to manage the my web app demo container. So we'll make the directory for that. And then enter that directory. So now we can create the unit file for the my web app demo container. So we'll use podman generate systemd. Now we can stop and then delete the my web app demo container. And now we'll reload the systemd daemon configuration and then enable and start the new container my web app demo user service. So we'll use systemctl user daemon reload. And then we can enable the user service. So now we can verify that the web server responds to requests. So we'll curl localhost 8080. And we can see that it does. And then we can also check to make sure that the container is running. And we can see that it is. So now we'll use the container ID information to confirm that the systemd daemon creates a container when you restart the service. So we can stop the service and then use podman PS. And we can see that when you stop the service, the image is no longer running. And then we can start the service again and then use podman PS. And we can see that it is running. So now we'll ensure that the services for your users start at the system boot. So we have to enable linger. And then use login.ctl show user atomz. So we can see that linger is enabled. And now we'll reboot the system. So now that the system's rebooted, we can SSH into atomz. And then we'll use podman PS. And we can see that the container is running. and then we'll use curl on localhost 8080, and we can see that it responds.
Thanks, Adam. Hope you guys like the demo. So if you want to learn about Podman more, there are a few links that we have collected. You can go through this. What is Podman? Container tools, rootless container Podman, rootless Podman makes sense, communication among containers, basic security principle, building, running, managing container. At the end, there are two courses that you can go through, which Red Hat provides, EX188 and RSCSA. There are important information about Podman if you want to learn more about it. At the end, thank you everyone for your time. And if you have any question, please email with email to bsahu@redhat.com. Thank you.